Welcome back, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we're going to be continuing Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 2. At the very end, after I had recorded and watched, I did a rewatch, which is what I started doing near the end of Attack on Titan Season 3, because I knew I had to. Rewatches are essential for this show. So I caught on to a few things that I want to note really quick here. One, the major thing that a lot of people straight up said was to make sure I watched the very end of the episode to see if I could catch anything. So I rewatched it over and over and over again. And the only character that looks like, it's either John or somebody new. And if it's John, how the hell are they there? Why are they there? Why? It's weird. It's kind of hard to tell because when people look older, sometimes their physicalities and everything just change. Their physical features, but his hair is almost exactly the same, and it's the only thing that seemed to match. I just don't know why he's there. It's an interesting tidbit at the end, though, there for sure. Also, something that kind of just went over my head on the first watch was the Beast Titan. The Beast Titan's roar was the reason why the roar is what turned those people into Titans. And I don't think that was ever really used the whole time in previous seasons, unless it's just something that I'm completely forgetting. And my question is, why wasn't it used? Why are we suddenly seeing that now? And why wouldn't that have put them as having a huge advantage, being able to do something like that? Because that is an insanely OP, because we've seen different Titans be able to do different things with their roar. We saw Annie call Titans over. We've seen the Beast Titan. It wasn't even a roar. We've seen the Beast Titan stop Titans, was like kind of communicating with them when the Beast Titan was first introduced. So I didn't know it was to this extent where he could use his roar to turn. That's insanely OP. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about that in the comments, or if it's something that had been shown or maybe talked about to some extent that I just missed. But that was absolutely huge. And really, that's really all I noticed difference wise. But now I feel pretty set in this revelation of being a few years later, and we're an introduction of a bunch of new characters. I'm just ready to see the next episode here. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you have not subscribed, do it for sure. Smash that like button, hit that notification bell. You can also check out my Patreon, patreon.com/ajrich123, if you want to see the uncut reaction of this. And early, they post right when they come out on Sunday. I usually get it about an hour or so over on the Patreon, so definitely check it out. And let's go ahead and start. That really shows that they're beatable, which seems to be the reason why that war happened in the first place. They actually have weapons that can harm them. Could their modern technology make Titans obsolete on a battlefield? Even if they're weaker, their power's got to count for something. And that changes the tactics of war, but also makes them vulnerable. And you have to say the Beast Titan's ability is pretty damn OP. Though they technically failed, so I don't think they're going to be super excited to let them try that again. The big thing is, we already know that they're unlimited time, and I think he I think he really wants to I think really the only path he feels that he can take is by doing that. But they failed before. So I can see why they would be hesitant to let them do that again, because the way this is panned out is them failing and not being able to claim those Titans, and then losing Titans as well made them a weaker powerhouse. It's like I'm trying to think of a comparison. It's like if suddenly like a world powerhouse lost a bunch of I don't know, suddenly we have no the United States has like no weaponry and we're suddenly weak, and you find out, oh, okay, the country is defeatable now. And I think that's kind of way, like if we suddenly had, I don't know, like a ridiculous power or whatever, you know, people would fear you. And that's what's happening here. It's like you think this army or this force is unbeatable because they have this power. And then you create something that can actually brings everything kind of it makes it defeatable. And now they're panicking because of that and why they got into a war in the first place. I feel like the powers should be able to be unbeatable, but we're finding weaknesses, and technology always advances. So who would have thought that technology would be able to be the end of Titans, or at least make them at least seem beatable? And Colt here is supposed to take the, or supposed to inherit the Beast Titan. Well, we've seen him. I feel like we still don't know shit about him. Yeah, that's the biggest worry.
必要ありません。私には1年しか残されていないという話ですよ。この3年間、パラディ島に向かった調査沈められたのなら、それは巨人一体の仕業とは考えません。少なくともエレン・イエーガーを含む島を攻めるには戦艦の支援。So they have been trying to get back there in a smaller capacity. Yeah, you got all of them, but where the hell are they? Galliard was the Jaw Titan that we saw. We saw that vision in the end of season 3 where Ymir is like locked up, and I saw somebody in a lab coat, right? Like in a white lab coat, and I was wondering, I already knew it was going to be bad for her, but this guy is the one that ends up getting it. Oh, he's... Okay, so he's Marcel's brother. Huh. So this is the other Titan that was there? That's probably how a lot of people feel, is how he's reacting. I guess they look up to him. But they're all working to inherit the armored Titan, so... Seeing Reiner in a normal setting seems very strange to me. There's like 2 seasons of him freaking out, so it's straight... Wait, what the hell? Wait, what? Oh, okay. So it's like, maybe his memory is starting to get... You know, like when you get senile, when you get old, you start just like, you're like, oh, that kind of reminds me of back then. It looks the same, but it was with different people back in the day. Yeah, we see Berthold, Annie, all of them. It's the same. They go through like the same thing because they were warrior candidates as well at one time. But has this been happening to him a lot? They don't really have anything else to do but, you know, war and get drunk. Yes, savor your booze, because that's all you have. She is the reason why their operation was able to continue there. She seems fit for it. That's the downside. You get it young, you're dying in your mid-20s. That's not a future to look forward to. God damn, did he change fast? The people that have it, it means more. And the people that have lost, like Reiner. That's like saying that what they're doing means nothing. Of course, it's gonna anger him. When you think about it, what Reiner's just went through, you know, what he's gone through since he's inherited the Armored Titan and gone through this, him seeing, you know, all his old friends in the past there, and he's just, I think that was more of just remembering this is the same thing. It's like it's repeating. It's the same. You're doing the same thing. You have the same goals. You're gonna pass on the Titan for the same type of results. So how do you go past that? No, but at the same time, you also have to have pride. So I get Reiner's reaction to what he's saying, because I mean, that can sound rude from that perspective. Information available. The Eldian armband, which we've seen them wear. These armbands are used to differentiate the Eldian devils from the other races. So it's segregating them, putting them in their own thing. It's a way to look, to classify them and look down on them. Eldians of higher classes may have armbands with different colors, so kind of like a ranking system. Armband color can also vary depending on if the Eldian is in the military or regular civilian. It is mandatory for Eldians and Marley to wear their armband when they go outside. This really, Attack on Titan, and especially when we get to know more and more about how Marley and the Eldians, everything kind of works. You can kind of think about it like segregation. The way technology is right there, it really feels anywhere from like the 1930s to 1940s. There's a lot of similarities between a lot of different things. I'm wondering, though this is kind of leaned. I'm kind of comparing this to the way, for anyone that's not in America, I'm thinking more like American history. But I'm wondering if I'm wondering if they were thinking of this when this was written. I'm wondering if they actually were thinking about stuff like that, or took things. I mean, because we're seeing a lot of similarities. Took things from real life. She is definitely the loud one, and the one with the most spark. Hey, look at them like heroes. The kids, anyway. Reiner has constantly had to deal with being in the middle and being trusted or not trusted. I feel like he's had it one of the hardest compared to a lot of people, just because of in the position he's in. And then everybody, family and everything, definitely looks up to all of them too. Yeah. Is that Grisha's mom and dad, or would that have been the other side? Because would they be blood with Aaron as well? It looked like the same color hair, so I'm assuming. Yeah, PTSD, going through all that type of stuff, just like in real life. Yup. Wow. Imagine that in real life. Imagine you just got back from war and you're a soldier, Marine, something, and you just got back from war, gunshots, all this crazy stuff. And then you go back home and people just straight up make fun of your illness. Like make fun, like to that extent. This isn't just like behind your back. The superiors are making fun of the trauma you had. That's disgusting to me.
大丈夫ですよ。きっと良くなりますよ。もうあなたは戦わなくていいんですから。
作戦大成功。でも敵は逃げ去る私に機関銃を撃ってきた。鉛玉を食らう寸前のところ。
This is another thing we're not used to do on the show. Happy families eating dinner.
ガビは戦士になれそうなのかい？
ああ、ガビが鎧の巨人の継承権を得て。
That's crazy that they're related. You would think that would give her a better chance because they're related.
残虐な悪魔たちの住む島に5年も潜入してたんだよ。
They don't really act the same though.
機密情報じゃなくて。
I wouldn't be able to tell they're related without them saying it.
あの島で軍隊に潜入したんだ。連中はまさしく悪魔で残虐非道な奴らだったよ。
He's lying to himself on that one.
うまそうだから盗んだと。そんな悪党だがさすがにまずいと思ったのが芋を精神などないからな。
That's the details he's using for that? All his friends. Aaron? What the hell? Oh, I guess he just started spewing. The way he was talking was actually, he was saying bad things, but they weren't really bad. Like he didn't actually say a real bad thing. You guys see that? The Reiner, I think, is in denial when it comes to that. And it's Marley that's kind of made them go against each other and kind of classify good Eldians and bad. It's hard to think of that perspective sometimes where the Eldians on the island, they could see that like betrayal and see that as a bad thing. I mean, there was...
らしいですね。戦士長の部屋に集合なんて。マーレ軍の人は
この部屋には先の戦いで通常兵器が巨人兵器を上回る未来がより明確に知れ渡った。
They could be in a really bad position.
をマーレに収めること。まずは改めてあの島の脅威を強くセバー家が引き受けてくれるそうだ。
潜水の巨人を管理するタイバー家。
Warhammer?
世界は耳を傾けざるを得ないでしょう。
さすがピークちゃんだ。その通りだよ。
しかし広い鳥たち戦士隊もタイバー家と協力して。
I think they feel like they have to at this point.
タイバー家は宣言を行う。1年以内にパラディ島を制圧すると。未来のために今一度皆の心を一つにしよう。
What, they're listening in on them? Of course they're going to be spying. They're probably nervous to think that they're going to, like they could get betrayed or something. Something that it's very easily reminded to us here as the world is bigger, especially since the first episode of this show. The world is a lot bigger than it seemed. But I think this last 2 episodes is a good reminder that the world is even bigger than the end of season 3 seemed to kind of. This is not just Marley. We saw them just get in a war with another area. That means, and the way they need to kind of bring it to the world, I feel like this world is huge, absolutely huge. Meaning that though technically Marley is a humongous, with the power of the Titans, a humongous powerhouse and a force in the world, without that power, they're just another area, just another country, just another location. And because of that, they're freaking out, and for good reason. They obviously don't trust any Eldians really, but even the people that have with that type of power, with the Titan power, they're spying on them, and listening to every conversation, writing it down, which is probably a precaution on their part. But Reiner knowing that they're doing that, I'm sure they don't actually discuss, as they said, they don't, not here, because they're not going to discuss their main things probably in that room. They'll probably do it somewhere else. But all of them in that room there, I think the one thing that surprised me the most was this mention of this Warhammer Titan. We already know about the 9 Titans. So what is this Warhammer Titan? What is this Titan? Is it separate from the 9? Is it its own thing, or is there more that we just don't know about? Seems to be this side, this Tiber family or Tiber family, and them wanting to have to work together with them. Though everything they said in that room makes me think they're not gonna 100% follow that just because they're being listened to. So I feel like there's probably more things they're gonna talk about afterwards. So maybe that's not the total plan for them. But them as being this, the warrior unit, they're pretty much Marley's golden horse. They're their strongest thing. That's why, no wonder why they would make sure that they have this room. They're probably treated a lot better because they're weapons to them. At least they're weapons to them compared to how they treat everybody else. Another thing is I think a good example of what the toll is taken on not only Reiner and the warriors, people that inherit these Titans, or that just the normal people that have to go to war like this. They are PTSD. They're getting mental disorders, just issues after going through dramatic experiences like this will affect you, as we've seen with Reiner to a crazy degree, but also just to the regular people. And they really showed how much Marley does not they just don't give a shit, to the point where they're just laughing at them. And it should be, as we've seen them treat them, as well as we saw how everything kind of works out like that. It was just really disgusting to me. It just made it because you just don't treat, I understand they treat them like shit, but making fun of mental disorders like to that extent was just even worse. And now we kind of, from that angle, you kind of get why Eldians would feel angry towards the other side as well, to that extent. I mean, the anger goes on both sides. They both hate each other. Yes, the Marley's in a better, in the higher position to them. But as we've seen, both sides hold huge grudges, and I think on the other side of it, they'll treat them bad as well. What's an example of that? From, what was it, in season 3? Was it in season 3 or season 2, where we saw one of the people in a higher position, he was like being forced to eat shit on the other side, and they talked about being in a position where this is for everything that your kind ever put us through. So on the other side, if you think about it, the Eldians had power. This is what I'm trying to I'm trying to talk about. If the Eldians on the other side had that, I think because it's just hate, I think they would treat them bad as well because of all the hate they've gotten. It just, hate with more hate never creates success, never creates actual camaraderie or just bonding. And that's why I think they're kind of in a lose-lose situation in general. When it comes to, and that's why the story is so good, because when you think about it, I can't help but relate it to real world stuff more so than I can think of any anime. There's just so many elements and stuff that they use that's used in this show that you can relate to. And I mean, even after rewatching some episodes, I feel like I just notice things every time. I don't know. I absolutely love this show. But outside of that, I think we kind of just learned Reiner's thinking and seeing family actually bonding in Attack on Titan is just not normal. I think the closest thing we had to that was what, episode 1 with Aaron's family, and how well did that work out? So that was fun. But yeah, it sucks that we have to wait another week. Now I feel everyone's pain of having to wait a week for every episode. It sucks. But I definitely will probably have to do a rewatch. I can't wait until the next one. You guys let me know what you think of the season so far. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. You can also check out the patreon.com/ajrich123. You want to see this episode on Sunday uncut and early, definitely do it. Oh gosh, I'm losing my voice, sorry. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.